Hello, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Loving Life. So, today we're going to talk about an interesting conversation that I had with somebody that is probably one of the smartest people that I know. And basically, you know, we had a conversation, and I don't think it was on purpose, but something that the person said made me put everything into perspective. Not everything, but some things, right? Something just as simple as the food that we choose to eat, right? And then, like, it actually connected with a few thoughts that I have. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like, I look into meaning, into different things, and I'm like, oh, this means this, and this means that. um, so I put a few things into perspective. The conversation that me and the person had, and then along with my thoughts that I've had this past week, and pretty much even before that, but basically this past week I thought about it a lot more. And so it's the whole idea of when we are stressed out and we just find ourselves buying and we find ourselves consuming, right? When we're stressed out and we want to just, I guess, get our mind off of like the stresses that we're going through because, I mean, life continues. It's not like the work gets done in one day. The work is going to continue on to different days, and that's something that I've had to learn. So, being that sometimes we get overwhelmed and we get really stressed, we end up buying things. And I think we might sometimes be doing this unconsciously, right? Of course, like there are things that we need to buy, there are some things that we need, but sometimes we can get a little bit excessive maybe, and we're not even noticing because we want that like instant gratification, right? And it's because basically like we're so stressed and overwhelmed that we feel that just having like a moment of escape in whatever the activity may be, or like that buying activity may be, will, like, I guess, redeem all of like the things that we are going through, right? So basically that, like, those 5 minutes or those 10 minutes are going to, magically erase all the things that have to get done, all the things that are like stressful and overwhelming. But it actually turns out that that's not the truth, right? I mean, we tell ourselves in that moment, right? We tell ourselves, "Oh yeah, we should let's get this food, or let's get this item, or let's get this activity, or whatever, and then everything will be much better." But it's actually not true. Those are like little lies that we're telling ourselves. So, I mean, the reason I bring that is because it actually leads me into budgeting. Of course, like having the mindset of like, having to budget, having to save is not in its entirety like the only way that we should be looking at life, because you also don't want to like limit yourself. So it's like, I don't know, it sounds kind of contradicting, but it's the truth. Like you also don't want to you don't want to limit yourself, right? But at the same time, if you're working towards like certain goals, then you want to use the income that you're earning or that you're making. You want to use it sorry guys, the word purposefully. Right, purposefully. That's how you want to use it. You want to use it with a purpose. So then when we get into that, this thing that I was talking about, we get into this like, oh yeah, I'll just get this and it'll be, life changing for like 5 minutes. Or I'll just get that and it'll be life changing for another like 10 minutes. And then it just ends up getting us a little bit further from our goal. Again, depending on how many things we're involved in, right? And depending on how many different sources of income we have, how advanced are we in investing and things like that. But you guys get the picture. Even if we were like really advanced in investing, even at that point, you still have to be careful with your psychology of money because, I mean, it's still your emotions that are there, right? It's still your emotions, and then you have a tool, and I don't know, it can get out of hand. I mean, I'm sure we all heard the stories of like, the sports players that have yeah, I'm looking at the time. I don't even have my contacts on. I took them off. It's just been like such a long day. So yeah, the sports players and how they've lost like their money like so quickly. So, I think this all ties in together, right? How we want the instant gratification for these like 5 minutes or these 10 minutes, or, I mean, you guys got the point. Could be longer, less, I don't know. But then we have to realize, like, are we getting further from our goal or closer to our goal? But then again, you don't want to limit yourself because you don't want to send off that energy like into the future. Yeah, like into the future, into the present. You don't want to give off that energy into the world, into the universe, or into whatever you may believe in. You want to have like this abundance mentality of like, everything that you want being possible. So it's like, I don't want to say it's a balance, but it's something that we need to be like very aware of, and know like when we're like going overboard, and know when, maybe we need to take a step back and things like that. So yeah, I just wanted to like tell you guys about that because I had that interesting conversation with someone that I think is like one of the smartest people ever, along with other people. Well, there's a few people that for me are like, oh my God, you guys are the smartest, and I'm so happy to like be in contact with you guys and like know you guys and receive like mentorship and like advice and stuff like that.